Guys, welcome back. Hope you all are doing well. This is gonna be lab number 9 from insecurity serialization vulnerability module, and today we are gonna develop a custom gadget chain for PHP deserialization. So this lab uses a serialization based session mechanism. By deploying a custom gadget chain, you can exploit its insecure deserialization to achieve remote code execution. And to solve the lab, we again need to delete the morale.txt file from the Carlos home directory. We have one set of valid credential for testing where the username is Wiener and the password is Peter. There is a little hint, and that hint is saying you can sometimes read source code by appending a tilde sign to a file name to retrieve an editor generated backup file. So without wasting time, let's just go to access the lab. So we have Burp Suite here, and you can see all the request and response we can see here. Now I want to little bit adjust this one. So let's go without wasting time. I'm going to log in. The username is Wiener and the password is Peter. So after login, this is the first request, and let's analyze. I'm strictly going to send it to the repeater. Go to the repeater and let's send. You can see 200 okay, and everything is fine. If you see the response here, so within the response or the source code of this page, you can see, so they mentioned here to do for the refactor once, and this is the file which they need to be updated, or it's already updated. So whatever is that, but the thing is, here we find one file within the CGI bin library directories. The file name is custom template.php. So I'm interested in this, but before that I want to see, so the object contains 4 characters and the object name is user. It has 2 attributes, as previously we saw. The first attribute is username, which contain value as Wiener, and the second attribute is access token, which is this one. Fine, so we find the serialized object. Now let's see what is there within this file. So I'm going to just copy this one. I want to put it here instead of that. So paste this and let's try to send this request. So within the response we should see the code, but we do not find it here. So let's put here the tilde sign and send the request again. And this time you can see we have the source code of this. So pretty interesting. You can see here, let's just break down this part by part, line by line, what this file is all about. So there is a class named as custom template that contains 3 properties. The first one is default description type, description, and the product. Fine. Then within the same class there is a function using __ construct, and it's defining the description type is gonna be HTML description, and the description only, which is this property, is producing the new description, and the default description type is gonna be the description type, which is set to HTML description. So this is not much interesting for me, but after within this function at the last, it is going to create a product or build a product. So it's saying build _ product, and this build _ product is basically within the new function it is created here. Okay, we will see that in a minute. So for me these two are more interesting. So let's see what this is all about. So here you can see the magic method is used __ sleep, and this is called when the object is serialized. So it tells PHP to only serialize these 2 properties. Okay, default description type and description, and you can see this property is not mentioned here. So that means this property is out of the syllabus or out of the scene from the serialization process. Only these 2 are going to be serialized. Fine, this is the first thing. Now let's see this one. Okay, so here another magic method is being used __ wake up, which is called automatically when the object is unserialized. And it again, you can see at the last, it is going to call build product function, and this is where the exploitation will occur. So you can see this is the build product function, and this function creates a new product, but this new product will contain only default description property and the description. Okay, since this is called during __ wake up, the chain of call is something like it will unserialize, then the __ wake up will create one product or build product, and the product will be constructed. So this product class, this is basically the core and the key point of the vulnerability. Why? Because if you see this part, it's creating one function construct that again access only these two properties from the custom template, but this is actually the dynamic property access. Fine. So let's go further. There is one more class description. Not much interesting because it's just defining HTML description and text description. But again, the last class, which is class default map, this is interesting part. Let's just see first of all this class, then we will get one step back. So this class is the gadget. Actually, it stores a callback function. Okay, so if a non-existing property, and that non-existing property could be anything, for example, and if that property is accessed, so PHP will trigger here this __ get function, okay, with an argument name, and this will call the callback with the property name. And you can see here it uses the call _ user _ function. So any function defined by the user, that will be accessed here. Fine. So now let's go back to the product class, how this product class is connected with this default map and how that chain can be completed. So if this description is an object like default map and it does not have the property, the PHP will automatically invoke this __ get method. Okay, and if the attacker control this description and default description type, these two property, they can basically trigger __ get, and this __ get will call the callback function with the argument name. So let's see if we can create one chain for this, gadget chain for this, because now we know all the points. First, this wake up. Okay, the first thing, first of all, this part where only default description type and description is being used in the serialization, and then __ wake up, then the class product and default map. Fine. So let's go. What I'm gonna do is I'm going to just copy this code, okay, and open a file. Let's paste everything here, and within this I want to construct my gadget chain. Fine. So what we will do, let's just make a bit up so that you can see clearly. Okay, so let's say I'm going to create here one callback, and this callback is going to be any function that can execute the system command. Okay, so it could be function like system exec pass through, something like this. So system, let's say I call system, or you can use exec, whatever you want. This is just a demo structure, and then we will see what we need to do. Okay, so just bear with me. Then I'm going to again create the property disk, which is description, and it is going to be, let's say, the object like default map. Okay, what we saw in the script, and this default map is going to access this callback. Okay, and then we need to create let's say exploit, and this exploit is new, let's say custom template. So custom template, and within this, let's say we will put one command here. Okay, terminate the line, and then we need to call here reflection. So reflection, let's say, and the reflection is going to be a reflection class, and that reflection class will use our exploit, which is the custom template with the command. Okay, then we need to create one property. Okay, and that property is going to use this reflection. Okay, and it will be set to the get property. Okay, so get copy property, so P should be in uppercase, and we need to mention here description. We will use the property, and we will say set which is gonna be true, terminate the line, and again we will set property here, set value, and the value will be using exploit, this one, two arguments. The first one will be exploit and the second one description. Okay, so DESC. Now terminate the line again, and here we need to now serialize our payload. So how we will serialize our payload? We will create one more parameter, which is payload, and we need to use serialize method here, serialize, and within the serialize we actually serialize this one, this content. Fine, that's it. Now we need to see that serialize payload so that we can use it as our cookie. Before going further, I just try to access the lab one more time, so that, oh, the lab is not live now. Fine, no problem, we will access the lab again. Okay, now we need to echo this payload. So let's say payload, and we will use dot dot, and within this dot dot I will say call the payload parameter. Fine, so that's it. I think we did everything. We just need to save this file, and let's say I'm going to save it as exploit.php, and let's open the terminal, and let's see, PHP space -- version. Which version of PHP we have? 8.1.12. Fine, so execute that file, php exploit.php, and there is a syntax error on line number 69. So this is the line number 69. What's the issue? Let's see, save it again and try to unexpected token on line number 6. Okay, we can actually add here one line. Save it. Fine, back here again, and as you can see, the payload is now generated. So the payload is saying we have one object, and the object contains 14 characters, and the object name is custom template. It has two attributes. The first attribute is custom template default description type. Oh, come on. We actually don't need this custom template here. We just need default description type. And here also we need just description. And there is another object which is default map within the description that contains only one argument, which is a callback. Okay, so I'm going to take this complete payload, Control Shift C, and I want to write it here. Fine. So here we need to delete up to here. So 3 and 4 is 7, 8, then 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17. So we need to update this one as 17. Then command contains 7 characters. We will come on this later. Here also we need to delete here, and this has only 4 characters. Default map object is okay, but here we don't need default map. This should be only callback, so it has 4 or 4, 8. Okay, and system is 6. Fine. So this is going to be our final payload, but we need to fix something because we need to delete the morale.txt file from Carlos home directory. So we will say remove /home/Carlos/morale.txt. okay, and that's it. I think this should work. So I'm going to copy it. Now before going further, I actually need to access the lab one more time and come back to the proxy. So this is our lab. We need to log in one more time. So WIENER Wiener, and the password is Peter. Login. We will take this request and we will send this request to the repeater. We will delete the first one. Okay, send it again. 200. Okay, fine, everything is fine. Now we go back to the decoder, or we can just come to this point and we will paste. Okay, not now. We will just copy first of all this and back to the decoder. Here we will paste that and encode this as base 64. Okay, so we already do it. Just Control C for copying this and paste it in the session cookie. Let's send this request and hopefully we will delete the Carlos home directory. It's not deleted. So what we will do again, let's just convert this section to the URL and encode all character. Send it again. It still doesn't work. We have one more option to do. Instead of system, let's say exec. So there are 4 characters. We need to update it to 4. Save it again. Come on, no. Go back to the decoder, and here also we need to exec. We need to update it to the 4 characters, and we need to actually encode it into the base 64. This is our final string. Copy that back to the repeater, and instead of this I want to paste that. Let's send this request. Not deleted. Let's convert it to the URL encoded value, and we need to encode all the characters. Send the request again. Uncaught exception and serialized field. We did something wrong or what? Let's see. Custom template default description type. Let's see if it contains 17 characters or not. We need to check that. So echo space hyphen n, paste that, and wc space hyphen c. How many characters are there? 17. That means fine. Oh, because we change it from command to this one, so we must copy. We need to change this one also. Let's see how many characters are there. Echo space hyphen n, paste that, pipe wc space hyphen c. 26 characters are there. This is the problem. Oh god. So let's come here and change it to 26 and encode as base 64. Come back here and let's see if it's changed. Yes, I'm going to copy that one and paste it into the repeater instead of this string. So paste it. Okay, and let's send this one. Hopefully this time, yeah, this time we solved the lab. So I hope you enjoyed the lab, and if you like the content, please like, subscribe and share. I'm gonna see you in the next video. Bye.